Hey guys, my name is Jack. I was at the Devils and Golden Knights game. My Knights defeated the Devils 3-2 at the Prudential Center, and you are watching the Legends of YouTube Post to Post.
Hello and welcome to Post, the channel where we discuss all things hockey and all teams. Dearly beloved, we are gathered here today to talk about the elimination of the LA Kings.
Oh, man.
It's kind of weird that we're making this video so early. If you look at the series as a whole, it's so damn close. In the numbers, in the play when you're watching... Sorry, I'm out of breath. I just ran upstairs to get an SD card. People think I'm like super out of shape, and I'm out of breath just talking about hockey. I want to go. If it's okay with you, I want to go over some statistics from the series. Okay, so I'm just gonna read something. 1.75 goals against per game, pretty good. 91.7% on the penalty kill, it's pretty good. 32.5 shots per game, it's pretty good. 52.4% in the face-off circle, it's pretty good. If you look at all those, specifically the 1.75 goals against per game,
that's awesome.
Which is third best in the NHL for the playoff teams.
You're about to tell me.
I'm talking about the Los Angeles Kings. They just got swept. Here's the Vegas numbers. 0.75 goals against per game, 8.3% on the power play, 92.3% on the penalty kill, 32.8 shots per game, 32.5 shots against per game, 47.6% in the face-off circle. If you look at the goals scored in the entire series, do you know how many goals each team scored?
Vegas scored 5, 6, 7 goals. 7 goals.
Do you know how many LA scored?
LA scored 3.
You're right. Do you remember the score of the Boston-Toronto game on Saturday?
7-0, wasn't it?
7-3.
Oh, 7-3. Yeah.
It had the same amount of goals as the entire Las Vegas LA series.
Unbelievable.
It is unbelievable.
It's unbelievable. And I know you have more numbers to go through. But either in a podcast or in a previous post-to-post, you asked me if I thought that there was a movie yet in the Las Vegas story. And I said, I don't think so, not yet. One round won't make the movie. I changed my mind. I'll tell you why in a minute.
Okay.
But I think this is movie-worthy cool, what's gone on in this first round. Unbelievable.
It is.
Back to your numbers if you want to go.
And it's cool that they did it in a sweep. I've never seen a team get swept with that good of numbers, and every game was so close. If you're looking at this 5 years from now, and you're thinking, and if you look at the scoreboard, you see, okay, Vegas swept LA. Man, LA must have sucked. They didn't. They couldn't score, but they were good.
This is only the 6th time, I think. And you probably saw the graphic last night in the coverage as well. Here's what I did, folks. I have a work job, like a day job I have to do. I just got home from it. That's why I got the get-up on. And what I did was I PVR'd the game, and I watched it this morning. I got up early. I watched the game this morning, skipping commercials, skipping the boring stuff between whistles and all that. And so that's how I got my game in, was this morning before going to work. I saw the graphic they showed, and you maybe saw it too. There's only 5 previous times where there's been a 4-game sweep, but each game was decided only by 1 goal.
Ooh. Interesting. I didn't see that graphic.
So this is a very rare thing. To have a sweep is somewhat rare, but to have a sweep where each game was only a 1-goal margin is exceedingly rare.
And it's even more exceedingly rare when a first-year expansion team does that.
Well, there are so many never-befores and record-breaking events that have already happened in the Vegas Golden Knights saga so far that there's not enough YouTube time to talk about it all. But it's incredible. It's just incredible, and I'm so happy. And I thought Vegas would win the series.
Yeah, me too.
And I think that was a safe bet.
What'd you predict for games?
I think I said 6.
I think I said 6 too. I don't remember.
Yeah. And one of the reasons I said 6 was because of Jonathan Quick. One of the main reasons.
Absolutely.
Because Jonathan Quick is an awesome goalie. And he was an awesome goalie in this series, and they still got swept in 4 games.
He's incredible.
It's unreal. Because as much as Marc-Andre Fleury is older and There's something in that man. The hand of God is in that man. And he had 2 shutouts in 4 games. That's just insane.
Fort Knox Fleury protecting the gold.
God. It's the greatest story in recent sports, let alone hockey.
You're right. It is.
That I can think of.
Yeah.
It's a fantastic story, and the story continues.
His numbers specifically: 0.65 goals against average, 9.77 save percentage, 2 shutouts. I mean, these are biblical numbers.
They are. They are.
It's unbelievable. But at the same time, the fact that LA couldn't score wasn't necessarily due to the fact of how well defensively Vegas was, or how Vegas is a good defensive team.
They are.
That contributed to LA not being able to score goals, but that wasn't. I wouldn't even consider that to be the main reason. I think the main reason that LA couldn't score was on LA. It was LA's fault, not anyone else's fault. I'm curious to see Vegas play a team who doesn't have trouble scoring. If it is San Jose, which it statistically they're up 3-0
that's the way it's
on
going.
Anaheim, it looks like Vegas is going to play San Jose.
Yeah.
That's going to be a very interesting series.
Oh, it's going to be fabulous.
Because if you guys didn't watch the last game, Game 3, San Jose, Anaheim, San Jose scored 8 goals against Anaheim. It was a very good defensive team. I understand that Anaheim's not the same team they were in the last 20 games of the season, but regardless, 8 goals in a playoff game.
It's incredible, and Vegas will have their work cut out for them in this next round. I'm not sure they can't win it, and I actually will be. You're going to be conflicted because I know San Jose is your second favorite team after Montreal.
I'll be cheering for San Jose,
and I'll be cheering for Vegas because I want this biblical story to continue.
We're gonna have a clash.
We're gonna have a clash, and I'm at peace with what happens because my team didn't even get in the playoffs, and this is the joy of being someone whose team's been knocked out even before the playoffs even started.
It's not stressful.
I can move my allegiances around. I can forget things I said last week and do all that kind of stuff. So now here's why it's, I think, movie worthy.
Okay.
Braden McNabb.
Braden McNabb because he came from the Kings?
Part of it, but it's how it happened. Braden McNabb was drafted by Buffalo. I think it was 3rd round, 4 or 5, 6, 7 years ago. He played with Buffalo, a little bit up and down, AHL, Buffalo. He goes to LA in a trade with Buffalo. Interesting factoid here. Do you know who LA sent to Buffalo?
No.
Nicolas Deslauriers.
Oh, interesting.
Who's now in Montreal and is probably my favorite Montreal player right now. Anyway, it was more than one player in the deal, so it's not just Deslauriers for McNabb. So McNabb goes to L.A., plays 2 seasons with the L.A. Kings, not bad, and then he actually signed again, I believe. He was on contract. But anyway, L.A. doesn't protect him. L.A. does not protect Braden McNabb. He's picked up in the expansion draft. He's the first guy who's actually in the building when they're announcing the expansion draft picks.
Oh, yes.
They're reading off all these names.
You're right.
Lucas Sabisa and this and that. And they get to Braden McNabb. He's the first guy who's actually there. He walks out with the Vegas Golden Knights jersey.
I remember that.
He's the first player to wear the jersey after being chosen. He's like the foundational player of the team who's actually played in the team.
But Reed Duke was signed. And
he was signed. Did he play?
No, he didn't play, but there was a picture of him in the jersey.
If they want to make a movie of Reed Duke, they can. But I'm talking about the Braden McNabb movie.
So you wanted the movie to be about him?
About him.
Whoa.
That's because this is he's a hardworking guy, and he's got 90-some penalty minutes a year and maybe 15 or 20 points a year. So he's not filling your net. He only has 12 goals in his life in the NHL. In his life, he scored the only goal in last night's game.
Goal.
The game-winning goal.
What about
against the team that wouldn't protect him in the expansion draft?
It's a great story.
There is no better story than that. Okay.
What about Derek England's story?
He needs a movie too.
Okay, see, there you go. It can't just be about one person.
You can have more than one movie.
It's got to be about the collective. You remember the Miracle on Ice movie?
Yeah.
It was about a lot of little stories about people. It has to be like that.
Yeah, I'm having a little fun with this, obviously. But I think you could build a feature film around the Derek England story. And I think you could build a feature film, particularly now, around the Braden McNabb story, no matter what happens in the rest of the playoffs.
You could build.
This is epic.
You could build a Netflix series out of this.
Maybe so.
Netflix, you listening? I'd watch it.
Yeah.
I'd pay double.
And maybe Hulu wants it because they're all over the boards and advertising and stuff. Maybe Hulu wants to make a series.
Yeah, you're right.
But I just think it's that, and we've talked about this before. When my team's out, I want to follow not a team necessarily, but a good story. That is a fantastic story. And in the next round, I didn't even look up who San Jose didn't protect and who got drafted from San Jose. But I would love, if at each successive series, if Las Vegas continues to win here, to have the player that was unprotected be a major factor in beating that team if they get to beat the team. I think that'd be amazing.
It's on the tip of my tongue. I can't remember who it is.
And guess what happens if Vegas gets all the way to the conference finals and plays Pittsburgh?
You mean the Stanley Cup Finals?
Yeah. Or the Stanley Cup. Yeah, wins the conference finals, goes to the Stanley Cup finals.
He's going to play his old team.
Marc-Andre Fleury will be facing the Pittsburgh Penguins, who didn't protect him in the draft, in the expansion draft. That would be... I didn't think I'd ever cry.
You might.
Unless Montreal won the cup again. I may cry if that happens.
Would you wear Vegas merch after that?
That's tough.
Would you get a Vegas tattoo?
No. No, not quite. I love what Vegas is doing. Yeah. I love what they've done with the team this year. I love how the fans have come on board. That building is incredible. And I've only seen it on TV, but we've both talked to people who've been in the building.
Yeah.
For games, even just in the regular season, and it's mayhem. And it's glitchy and kitsy, and it's got all the craziness in it. It's Vegas, all the Elvises and the swords and all that stuff. But I don't care. It's Vegas. That's the Vegas personality, and it comes out in the arena before the game and even during the game. And I think that's fantastic. And I'm so thrilled that this experiment is working, and not just working, thriving.
Absolutely.
It's fantastic.
I already told you this.
Yeah.
I didn't tell you this. I may have an opportunity, hypothetically.
Oh, yeah.
Hypothetically.
Oh, boy.
If Vegas makes it to the Stanley Cup Finals, I might have an opportunity to go see a game in Vegas. We'll see. Obviously,
you have some connections that are going to try to hook you up. Maybe.
Yeah. So we'll see. But
Ooh.
if we just hop back to LA for a second, why do you think? There were obvious problems. They couldn't score, obviously. Were there any players specifically from LA that you felt underperformed? Or were there any players outside of Jonathan Quick that you felt did perform but didn't get any help from any teammates? Because I really felt like Dustin Brown had a good series. I felt like Anze Kopitar had a good series. Obviously, they had trouble finding the back of the net, but I felt like they were everywhere on the ice. Adrian Kempe, I thought had a pretty good series. Drew Doughty was hit or miss with me.
Yeah.
Quick was amazing. Outside of that, I really didn't feel like any player made any significant impact.
And even Kopitar, as much as he's an outstanding player, I saw one play, I think it was in the very first game, maybe game 2, where he's coming out of his own zone. And I forget who the Vegas player was, but they met at the LA blue line. And the Vegas player just robbed the puck from him. And Kopitar just kept on skating, and I don't know if that's ever happened to him before. Yeah. And the Vegas player got the puck. Just little things like that. It's the hand of God. It's the hand of God. LA played very well. They played well enough to take this series to 7 games.
Did you notice Toffoli on the ice?
Heard his name a few times.
I didn't. I felt like he was pretty invisible the majority of the series. He had a few looks at the net, specifically late in the last game there, and he just was invisible. You're working up a thirst.
Man, that gin's tight. Woo! Just tap water, folks.
Yeah.
And we have pretty good tap water here.
No, we don't.
Yes, we do. Notwithstanding the fact that some people want to go and buy it at the store and bring it home in a jug. Tap water's nothing wrong with it. Put lead in your pencil. Anyway, what?
Nothing.
Okay. I'm not enough up to date on the LA roster and what to expect from the LA players to really answer your question more than what I already did. But I enjoyed every single minute of every single game, and I didn't think that I would be so captured by this amazing story. And
I was trying to bait you into talking about Toffoli. I thought you might mention him, but
No.
that's the only reason why I asked you.
Sorry.
I was just baiting you. I do want to address one other thing, which I did talk about in the last video.
Oh,
that you guys
yes.
saw.
Yeah,
So
this
someone
crazy.
tweeted something at me that made me very frustrated.
Trigger.
They said, like at post to post, and they said, "Do you still think we don't deserve a team?" or something like that. And it honestly, it made me angry because I never said specifically that. The video that person's talking about was filmed in February of last year, over a year ago, a year and 2 months ago. And in the video, which you can see, it's on the channel, it's the episode 31. In the video, I say, there are other cities that deserve a team more than the Las Vegas Golden Knights. That was the context of the conversation that I was having with myself in the video.
With your viewers.
I never said that Las Vegas didn't deserve a team ever. I said there are other cities that I felt deserved a team more. I still feel like that. The majority of people watching still feel like that. Quebec deserves a team more than Las Vegas. I'm sorry, Vegas fans, but that's how I feel, and that's the way the majority of hockey fans feel. And I'm sorry, but it's true. That doesn't mean that I don't think Vegas deserves a team. Look at them.
They've proven they deserve it.
Yes, and even before the season started, I was coming around to the team. In that same video, I said, I don't like the colors, I don't like the logo, I don't like the team name. I still feel like that. I don't like the team name. The jerseys come along, like that jersey's really grown on me.
I really, and we did videos long ago, and I said I liked it.
Yeah.
So just to say,
I'm not crazy on the logo still, but I'd like the jersey, and I like the colors are growing on me.
Yeah.
So that opinion has evolved.
Yeah.
In the video, I also say a lot of positive things about Vegas. I talk about San Jose, LA, Anaheim, Tampa Bay, Florida, and Arizona. These
talked
teams
about how
in untypical geographical locations who have NHL teams, and I talk about each team having success. San Jose, huge fan base. LA, huge fan base. Anaheim, huge fan base. Tampa Bay, huge fan base. Arizona and Florida are really the only two that have kind of struggled. The other 4 or whatever have seen a huge fan base, so it can be successful. And in the video, I said I hope it's successful for Vegas, and I asked myself the question, do I think it will be? And I said I don't know. You can go watch the video. I say a lot of positive things about Vegas in the video.
And you say that based on your desire to grow the game of hockey.
Exactly.
As many places as you can grow it. And I remember you saying, if Vegas can get a team and grow the game of hockey and light up thousands of new hockey fans, it's a great thing.
Exactly.
And it's exactly what happened.
So the person has since apologized. So
yeah,
it's water under the bridge now.
Yeah.
But it's all about the context of a conversation. When you pick out something from a conversation that I had, and it sounds bad in that sentence, but in the context, when you leave out the other half of the sentence, and try and make me look bad, it's a little frustrating.
Yeah.
Anyways.
You don't need help looking bad.
You
can do that all by yourself.
Go watch any prediction video.
Yeah, that's one of the things that goes with being on social media, being on the internet, and for good or for bad, everything you've done in the past is there for all to see, and there for all to misinterpret if they choose to do so. If they want to create drama out of something that didn't have drama to begin with, they can do that. So that's the kind of way things go, and I'm just...
I want to show you something.
I'm just thrilled that Vegas has done well, and I think the fact that Vegas has done well has probably increased the chances that other cities will get teams. Seattle is almost a sure bet. We still want Quebec. There's Houston. There's Milwaukee. There's other locations.
Absolutely.
And the Vegas experiment was such a success, why stop at 32 teams? 36 is a nice round number, too. I'm not a big fan of this massive expansion generally, but Seattle wants that same cachet, and so does these other cities that I mentioned a while ago.
If the cities are willing to pay the price, which is a pretty insane price, the NHL is going to say,
come on, baby.
Keep coming.
And if they structure the expansion system like this, like I think the expansion draft as it was done didn't give Vegas any unfair advantage.
I think it was pretty fair.
I think it was very fair because Vegas, teams could protect a player. Vegas or some players, not all players, but Vegas had to pick one player from each team. And then it's the wheeling and the dealing that they did afterwards. They told some players, you're staying with us, like Derek Englund. You know, we're keeping you because there's something you've got that we want to
They
keep
shipped
on
off
the team.
Mathot
They shipped off Mathot.
and Emmeline, I think.
Yeah.
Was it Emmeline?
I think it was, yeah.
Emmeline.
And they could have been tremendous assets, and probably on paper were better assets than the ones they got in return. But they wanted something. They wanted that combination. And Gerard Gallant, George McPhee, and the management of the Las Vegas team, the whole organization.
The management group and stuff.
Yeah, they created a chemical reaction on that team that has been a tremendous success, at least so
Which
far.
is almost impossible to predict. The fact that they did it is remarkable.
Yeah.
You were kind of called out a little bit. It's this person that makes compilation videos on Instagram, and it's about Vegas, and it's a. I'll just let you watch it. So it's like they're showing clips of success and stuff,
Yeah.
and then they show a clip of you predicting and them only getting 60 points before the season, and then showing a bunch of success afterwards.
That is fair ball. I said it.
I know. But
Yeah, I said it. And that. Look, if someone wants to take the time to do that, that's fun.
Yeah, and yeah.
I love it. I love it. Called out and call me out, because that was one of the things I was going to have to face at the end of the hockey season.
But it wasn't just you though. It
No.
was me. It was anyone else making videos on YouTube.
Yeah.
It was the professional NHL analysts on Sportsnet and CBC
Yeah.
and TSN and everyone.
I'm in good company.
Yeah.
We're in good company.
Like we didn't do the wrong thing.
And when I said 60 points, I was probably giving them a few extra points.
I don't know what I picked. I think it was like 75 or something like that.
Yeah. I'm
Still
just
pretty bad.
I've never been happier to be wrong, I think, ever.
Well, yeah, there's nothing to be upset about. I mean,
No.
no. It's the most amazing story in hockey since John Scott.
And maybe the Vegas Golden Knights watched that video.
Man, they did. They were pissed.
And maybe they were pissed.
Yeah. Who's this guy?
We'll show that fat SOB
Yeah.
about 60 points. We'll show him 60 points.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
We'll double that. See what he says about us then.
Yeah.
You got me.
They almost did.
Well
double that.
played,
Yeah.
Vegas. Well
Good job.
played.
All to make you look bad.
All to make me look bad. I have such an influence because I am the GOAT.
You are the goat. Yeah. All right. Do you have anything else to add for this series?
I
guess we didn't really talk a lot about the series and more about the story, but
Yeah, I've been very repetitive already, so I won't bore people. But
I've already talked about the series quite a bit in
the sky's the limit.
recap videos. So, yeah,
The sky's the limit for these guys. There's something going on, and I'm half joking, but not all the way joking. There is a destiny, fate movement afoot here.
Whoa.
There's the unseen hand to make this an unbelievable story, and it already is. If this is as far as they get, because there is reality that it will kick in at some point, but if this is as far as they get, it's still a tremendous story. But I think there's potential there for the story to continue, and I hope it does. I know you don't, but I hope it does.
Well, I mean, I do hope it continues. Like if San Jose moves on and Vegas ends up playing San Jose and wins, I'm not going to be upset.
No, I know.
Because of the story, because of the pure underdog aspect from the beginning of the season of the Vegas Golden Knights. Like the Vegas Golden Knights came second in the Western Conference. I still consider them to be an underdog based on the roster.
Totally.
And how they play.
Totally.
So even though they're statistically one of the best teams in the NHL, I still consider them to be an underdog.
And if they are to face Nashville for the conference final,
Oh, you think Nashville's going to get the conference final? You don't think it's going to be Colorado?
I don't actually still.
Yeah, me too.
But we'll see. Colorado has done amazing things too. That's another great story.
It is another great story.
It's a great
right?
story. And we might have this video in a couple more days about how Colorado's been just lights out. I think Vegas would be hoping that Colorado wins that series.
I think so too.
Because if anyone can knock Nashville out, it certainly improves the chances of everybody else. But if it comes down to a Vegas-Nashville conference final, I would be torn. I'm a real Nashville booster because of Subban and Weber and wanting to see the team do well and having done so well last year and come so close, only to walk away or be pushed away. I'd like to see that get resolved.
Yannick Weber, not Shea Weber, right?
You're right.
Yeah. I know people would be like, what?
What, Weber? He's
what
not on
if-
the team anymore. He's gone. What are these guys dummies? Dumb Canadians.
That would be tough for me too.
It would be tough.
Because like you talk about how teams would prefer to play Colorado. Teams would prefer to play Nashville. We're rooting for Nashville to beat Chicago last year, and look what happened.
Yeah.
So you never know.
Yeah, be
Really.
careful, you might get what you wish for.
Exactly. So
Yeah, so that'll be fascinating. Winnipeg's in the mix as well. We'll see how that goes. That looks like it's going to close out. But the West is exciting, and usually I don't care much about the West until the end of it all. But the West is way more exciting than the East.
I agree completely.
Way more.
Yeah, completely.
Because the East, these blowouts and lopsided games are not fun to watch.
Yeah, 7-1, 5-0, and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Eh.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
Ooh,
did you watch any of the Columbus?
I did. I watched all of that too. I squeezed it in. A little bit of it on fast forward, but I watched most of that second overtime.
What'd you think? I know it's pretty off topic here, but at the end of the video, what'd you think?
I was disappointed.
Really?
I was disappointed. Yeah, I was really, really hoping that Columbus would.
Yeah, but you don't want like
get it done.
a competitive close series. You don't want it to go on longer. It's such good hockey. I want to see more games of it. I wanted to go all 7 games just for the quality of hockey reason.
There's a logical truth to that.
But you still want Columbus to win, obviously.
I still want Columbus to win, and I don't want it to be as close as it was.
So if Columbus ends up playing Pittsburgh or Philadelphia, who do you want to win that series?
Columbus all the way.
If Columbus ends up playing Toronto, Boston, or Tampa in the conference finals, who do you want?
I'd say Columbus out of those 4. Yeah.
So if Columbus ends up playing Vegas in the Stanley Cup finals, who do you want to win?
Vegas all the way.
Who would you want Columbus to beat?
Who would I want them to beat?
Yeah, like if Colorado made it to the finals.
I'd be Colorado.
Because of the story. Okay, I need to pick a team that you...
If Columbus ended up playing Minnesota,
okay.
bad chance. I'd go for Columbus, probably. No offense.
I'd go for Minnesota.
Yeah, and I'd be on the fence about it. But if Columbus made it that far, there'd have to be a cool story in there too. So,
but I tell you this,
Minnesota too.
If Columbus beats Washington, I am cheering hard for Columbus in the next series versus Philadelphia or Pittsburgh.
Me too.
No offense, Philadelphia or Pittsburgh fans.
Yeah, me too.
I'd like to see the team go as far as they could because they've never been far in the playoffs. So.
And at some point, we're going to talk about the story of Artemi Panarin.
Yep. Oh, absolutely.
But his story is already incredible, even if Columbus doesn't win on here. His story is amazing, and if that story were to be continued as part of a Columbus run, that would become the thing I will attach to, and that's why I would cheer for Columbus. Is for Panarin mainly.
All right.
Yeah.
Cool. So. That's all I have to say for this video.
All right.
You done?
I am.
Want another drink
more
of water?
To say? Yes. Yeah.
You can drink your water. Thanks, guys, for watching. Appreciate it. If you're not subscribed, I hope you can hit the subscribe button. If you like this video, please hit the like button. And we'll see you in the next playoff video. Adios.